confines of Fenway Park.
Came here as a kid, watched a lot of ball games, and so enjoying life in the big leagues now, playing at the Fens as Jose Altuve leads it off and takes a strike. Sean O'Sullivan, veteran right-hander on the hill for the Boston Red Sox. Altuve hits one in the air out to left center field. It'll be handled by Bradley in out number 1. And now the Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Jose Altuve, you just saw him. George Springer follows, and then Carlos Correa. Top 3 have done very well. Middle 3 in the order: Colby Rasmus, Tyler White, and Luis Valbuena. And the bottom 3, Carlos Gomez. Preston Tucker, he's the DH doing the catching once again. Jason Castro. O'Sullivan back to the plate as Springer aggressively after that first fastball hits it down the right field side, foul. Nephew Bryce for George Springer. There were on the field today, and Bryce was trying to catch fly balls and taking batting practice, just having a grand old time. O'Sullivan again brings a strike. It's popped down the right field side and dropping, but a heck of a running grab by Mookie Betts. He had to come a long ways to make that play.
Wind is kind of swirling here at Fenway today. Cool afternoon, but Mookie Betts never gave up on that. You see that last second adjustment by Mookie Betts as you look on our Supermo brought to you by Mattress Firm. That last little reach out. Good closing speed.
That's a whale of a play. We saw a little pop fly down the line yesterday turn into a double. Jake Marisnick took advantage of that one. And we also saw some players, including Carlos Correa, dealing with a very tough sky in Boston yesterday. Imagine all the sunglasses are out this afternoon. Carlos Correa stands in hitting .275, 6 home runs on the year. Hit one completely out of Fenway Park in yesterday's game. O'Sullivan at 91 miles an hour finds the outside edge.
Sean O'Sullivan for the Boston Red Sox, only making his second start on the season. You see the numbers quite high, getting beat around a little bit. Fastball, slider, cutter, curveball.
Is that little cutter trying to find that inside edge. Southern California boy, El Cajon, California. Actually born in San Diego, so that Jeff Blum neck of the world.
It's a good place to be if you can get there.
A lot of people trying to sidle up to you, Blummer. 2-2 pitch. Carlos Correa at the plate. Gets just a piece as he fouls it on the right side. The Astros are 2-4 in the 6 games between the 2 teams on the season. Of course, the Red Sox having now taken 2 out of 3 to start this 4-game set. Tomorrow's an off day for the Astros, on to Chicago, and 3 with the White Sox, who are pitching as well as anybody in the game right now. All night games from Chicago, all 7:10 starts. And with each one of those, 6:30 for our pregame show. Correa again fouls it off the right side. O'Sullivan, 28 years of age. Came up originally with the LA Angels of Anaheim. That was 2009 when he initially came to the big leagues. Strike 3 called, outside edge. Correa caught looking, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for O'Sullivan. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless. down 1-2-3 in the first inning. And now it'll be Chris Devenski taking the hill for the Astros. He'll face this lineup from the Boston Red Sox. Mookie Betts in the top spot, followed by Dustin Pedroia back in after an off day yesterday. Xander Bogaerts is the shortstop. Middle three, Travis Shaw, Hanley Ramirez, and Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 21-game hitting streak. Josh Rutledge will start the bottom three, followed by Brock Holt and Ryan Hanigan.
Here's a look at Devo, closing out this series, pitching well in the starts that he's had. He has the lowest ERA among major league rookies. Minimum of 30 innings pitched. He has 1.72, and he's had 2 quality starts in his last 2 outings against Seattle and Cleveland.
So Devenski comes to the plate as the first pitch is aggressively fouled back by Betts. 6-game hitting streak by Betts. I said 21 games for Jackie Bradley Jr. Pardon me, that's 20 games. So we won't jump ahead on him at all. That fastball once again from Devenski winds up just below us. 0-2 the count.
That better not be foreshadowing, Ash.
No, that, you know what, if it was on the other side of the coin, people would be saying you jinxed him. So we'll live with that one, okay?
Yeah, we have ultimate control up here. It's
we
like
do.
A video game.
We are a powerful duo, that is to be sure.
Yep. It's about time somebody recognizes that.
Oh, you and I have been aware for a long time. 1-2 pitch. Certainly a lot of energy brought by Devenski. And you talked about his changeup and the fastball and everything that goes with it, but the combination has been good. Out on the hands, fouled on the right side. Got a breeze that appears to be pushing foul balls, that ball anyway, back towards center field.
Get a chance to look at our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. See where the location is on that. Trying to get in the kitchen with that fastball. Missed his spot, but able to have enough life on it to jam Mookie.
You see the effect of the breeze on the flag there. Now Devo winds up having that count go full now, 3-2, as Mookie Betts leads it off.
We're pretty well protected with the way that wind's blowing.
And ball 4. So Betts coaxes the walk. He's aboard as Dustin Pedroia will step in.
Wasn't a bad pitch from Devo.
Carlos Correa got rung up on one that he thought was away. So Pedroia back in there. Numbers are good. 301 the batting average. 6 homers on the year and 20 RBIs. Red Sox will bring some 20-plus RBI guys at you. These Boston Red Sox had won 5 straight before losing back a couple of days ago on Friday, and try to start something again with that come from behind victory yesterday. And it's backbreaking for a ball club when you're struggling overall and you have a game get away from you late. But that is what happened with the Astros yesterday. Devenski falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes. AJ Hinch, and by the way, a big happy birthday to AJ. They are working their tails off trying to come up with something. 3 balls and a strike now on Pedroia. Laser Show is now 32 years of age. Hard to believe 2006 is when he came up. Runner on the move as Pedroia fouls it back. That'll fill it. So Mookie Betts on the move, and these Boston Red Sox run very well as a club.
It's a good quote from Hinch. Still got a sense of humor on him. Said John Farrell did him a favor by keeping Ortiz out of the lineup on his birthday. It's a nice present.
Which is really just saying he'll be available for pinch hitting duty late in the ball game. Again, Betts on the move, but it's ball 4, back-to-back walks to start things. Red Sox have Betts and Pedroia aboard for 3-hitter Xander Bogaerts.
Gives you an idea how much Devenski likes that changeup. 3-2 count to a right-handed hitter. He'll still throw it. And again, not missing by much, but missing.
Home plate umpire today, Joe West. Around the bases, first to third, it's Kerwin Danley, Andy Fletcher, and Tony Basner. And now you're dealing with a very tough customer. Xander Bogaerts hitting .340. And the thing about this Red Sox club right now, that .340 doesn't lead among the starters today. Josh Rutledge, playing at third base, has a .348 mark. So on that offensive side, John Farrell can basically write the lineup and let these guys go get them. Devenski had to come up with that lead out at second base. Boston Red Sox lead the major leagues in runs scored, in hits, in batting average. This club as a team is hitting .297. They lead in slugging and on base plus slugging. Ball and a strike.
They're a 3-hole hitter with 2 guys on, just squared around a fake bunt. Solid move. Sorry, there's sarcasm in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that that was just a turn to bunt to see if he could annoy Devenski and create another ball? Ball and a strike. That .297 team batting average for the Boston Red Sox is 17 points higher than the next best club in the big leagues. And that's a club that happens to play at Coors Field in Denver, the Colorado Rockies.
Fenway's a good place to hit, but .297 is a ball club. Wow.
It is certainly not Coors Field, but it is, like you say, a good place to swing the bats. Hit on a line to right field. Springer's back to make the play. Tagging from second is Betts. He'll make it to third. So Xander Bogaerts stings it for the first out for the Red Sox. Runners now at first and third as it brings up cleanup man Travis Shaw.
Pretty good pitch on that outside, almost maybe off a little bit, but it's like Xander was looking out there, put a good swing on it, driving it that way.
Travis Shaw hitting .328. Just another part of this offense as the breaking ball bends in for a strike. Travis Shaw has become a fixture now for the Boston Red Sox, whether it be at third base or in the rare game like today playing at first base. Hanley Ramirez, the normal first baseman, is the DH today. And they have certainly spread the wealth with the Boston Red Sox. All 9 batters in their starting lineup yesterday had at least 1 hit. They've done that 5 times this year. Runner for first goes. Throw down to second into center field. That'll play to run. As coming in to score, Mookie Betts, making it 1-0 Boston. Into third base on the E2 is Dustin Pedroia. So Pedroia gets a stolen base and then moves to third on the throwing error by Jason Castro.
Pedroia picked a good pitch to run on, and we actually had a camera angle that showed him kind of almost getting a walking lead at first base. Devenski not paying attention, and a good jump on a changeup will lead to hopefully the catcher sometimes eating it. But this one aired out into center field, leading to some damage.
Pitch fouled back. So immediately it's Boston on the board, 1-0. Travis Shaw appeared to have some question mark. Count is 0-2. Infield drawn in for the Astros. Right on the fist, it's fouled. And Shaw's done a nice job in numerous respects for the club. On base percentage, .404. He's slugging at .567. Stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. These Red Sox have hit 31 home runs in their last 19 games. Pretty easy to guess most of the major leagues in that span. They've hit long balls in 15 consecutive games. And surprisingly, that ties for the second best in Boston Red Sox history. Devenski working it hard in and has it fouled back.
He's actually doing a good job of locating on that inside corner. Pitches from that far first base side of the rubber. You see that speed difference between the fastball and changeup. It's usually that old school mentality, hard in, soft away, and he does have pitches that he can do that with.
See some of the numbers on the different pitches for Devenski. And the changeup gets the strikeout. And that's a big plus for Devenski when he's able to use the changeup when he's even or behind in the count. So it gets us out of Travis Shaw. That's 2 outs in the inning now, and now the opportunity to get out of this frame with just 1 run.
Good fade on that changeup, turned it over nicely.
I'll bring up the 5-hitter, Hanley Ramirez. Mentioned he's the DH today for the Sox. And Hanley Ramirez, like his teammates, off to a fine start on the season. .309 batting average, 4 dingers. He's driven in 22. Getting on base at a nice clip. On the backside of what has been a terrific career. Hot shot inside third and down the line. Extra bases producing a run. It's 2-0 Boston as Ramirez digs into second with an RBI double.
Hanley has yet to make an out against Chris Devenski, now 3 for 3, but that was a changeup left up, and sometimes when it's left up and it tails back into right-handed hitters, and Hanley Ramirez with that big leg kick able to get the head out, drive it down that third base line. Another early lead against Astros pitching.
To that point, Blummer, the better numbers for Devenski are against the left-hand hitters this year. First pitch fouled off by Jackie Bradley Jr. 20-game hitting streak. And we've mentioned it repeatedly, but that began against the Astros in April. That 3-game stop in Houston for the Boston Red Sox. The final game of that set, Bradley came into it hitting .222 and got a couple of hits. And here we are, 20 games later. He's hit in every one, hitting .336. These Red Sox, with all these numbers on their current homestand, 6 games, have averaged 10.5 runs a game. They're going to get 2 in the first inning if this pop-up is handled, and it's going to take Chris Devenski to make the play, as neither Castro nor Valbuena were able to get there to make that play. Very unusual. After 1, 2-0 Boston. Lexus. The new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Right outside Fenway Park. Still coming in. They have heard that Jeff Blum is here, and they're going to keep coming throughout the afternoon. 2-0 Boston. We've played one as Colby Rasmus settles into the box. Colby hitting .232 with 7 home runs. And we've got that look once again for Colby. Have a name for it, right? Colby fouls the first pitch down the left side.
Didn't Julia get on that and figure it out?
She may have. 28 RBIs for Colby to lead the Stros. George Springer now with 8 RBIs in the series, second best on the club at 25. Colby has been very willing to turn and at the very least bluff a bunt. Jose Altuve is the guy that just keeps putting up the great numbers for the club. More guys have got to get in line with him. Past the mound. Tough play for the shortstop Bogaerts, who throws it away. And now heading for second is Rasmus as the throw comes in late and into left field. And so it'll be a single for Rasmus and a throwing error charged to Bogaerts as the Astros get a man at second to start things here in the second inning.
Baseball must be scalding hot because nobody wanted to touch it or throw it to anybody who could come within reach of it. My goodness. Good placement on that ground ball from Colby. Then let the yard sale ensue.
They have ruled an error on O'Sullivan. Are you kidding?
How did they give that an error? Did he even get anywhere near it?
That's it's really tough.
I'm not going to write anything. I'm going to get the white out.
And sometimes then that's what I'm doing too. Sometimes early in a ball game when it's the first hit, as this would be, they'll withhold that single. So we'll see how that plays out for Colby on the day. Tyler White at the plate, 0 for his last 9. Got to find a way to get back to that first couple of weeks of the season stroke.
Can't give an error to the pitcher who can't field.
Is that one of the lines in the scoring book, the manual?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
I figured you would know that.
I'm the only one that has that rule book.
That's obvious. Tyler White has driven in 15 on his season, but that batting average has drifted down to .231 now. Just the second inning. Gorgeous day, but on the cool side. Speaking of the gorgeous day and that tough sun, as White takes a ball, that final out for the Red Sox in their half of the first inning. The pop-up hit by Jackie Bradley Jr. up in that tough sky and in the sun. And boy, that was a potential mess for the Astros happening, as Luis Valbuena did not even come close to getting to that ball, and Chris Stavinsky had to make the play himself. Otherwise, another run would have been on the board. It's now 3 balls and a strike.
Good time to hit. Be nice to see Tyler White snap out of this funk that he's in with a line drive and a gap somewhere.
White fouls it down the right side. So back to that play on the ground ball hit by Colby Rasmus. 2 errors on the play. One charged to the pitcher O'Sullivan, and then one to Bogaerts.
In my book, I put a base hit error on him getting to second base on the throw by Xander.
Well, you know what? Your book would be incorrect right now, but I think when it's all said and done, you're going to be dead on the money.
It's my
okay.
book.
I got you.
The unofficial my book.
And yours are not going to the official league stats then?
Nope.
Tyler White takes one close, but a ball. As he draws a walk, that'll put runners at first and second. Nobody out. And Luis Valbuena comes to the plate.
Either way, 2 runners on and high hopes for this Astros offense.
Today's fan cam comes to you courtesy of Gullo. That's GulloAuto.com. There you go. The stilted one.
Guys all legs. Some Astro fans in attendance. I like it.
Which one? Okay, so these are our fans of the game. It's great to see the Astros fans everywhere we go now. They're right. That's not the pesky pole. That's out in left field over the monster. Valbuena takes the breaking ball for a called strike.
Say they might have been atop the pesky pole. Be a tough challenge.
That would be. Oh, that makes me think Julia could pull that off.
Well, has Julia signed the pesky pole? There's a ton of signatures on the pesky pole too.
That's right. Why haven't I signed it?
Because you are slow on the uptake, kid. No, I'm just kidding.
You're right. I signed the inside of the monster, but the pole.
Yeah.
Hammer deep to right field. This one's getting way out of here. See ya. 3-run home run, Luis Valbuena. And with that one swing of the bat, the Astros jump on top. 3-2 here in the second inning. Number 2 on the year for Luis.
He needs the pesky pole when you can hit it about 400 feet to right. Good to see Valbuena waking up with that bat. He was one of those guys in the bottom part of the lineup last year you really didn't count on for batting average, but every once in a while he'd sneak one out of there for you. There's a big home run.
There you go.
Jack, get that lead. High fives aplenty right now.
Still nobody out. 3 runs in. Carlos Gomez at the plate, and Carlos is 0 for his last 15. Yeah, that home run should take all reason away for the error charged to O'Sullivan. Carlos hitting 186. He is yet to homer on his season. And just 5 RBIs for the Astros center fielder. Pop fly will find the seats back at that Boston Red Sox dugout. When you've got that Boston Red Sox offense behind you, in this case O'Sullivan just has to settle in a little bit, but that's the notion on both sides when you're playing in this ballpark. Joe West doesn't bite on that one. It's 2-2. Just the second start now for O'Sullivan with the Red Sox. And now 3-2. And third appearance for O'Sullivan. Started his year at AAA Pawtucket. And picked up a win in his first start on the year. Just under the knees. Carlos Gomez draws the walk. 4 consecutive reaching here in the second inning. Back to that home run by Luis Valbuena.
Speaking of reaching out and touching someone, Luis Valbuena. Cheese up in the air, gets the head out on it. Casual breeze out to right field. Use that too. Get it up in the jet stream and launch. Beautiful. Good plan of attack. Usually has issues getting to that pitch up in the zone. Kind of a loopy swing, but did a good job of getting the barrel on this one.
That is home run number 47 for the Astros this year. They start the day 4th in the American League in long balls.
Happy birthday, A.J. Hinch. Little early birthday present from Luis.
I think he's more pleased than he might appear. Gomez aboard. Preston Tucker is the DH, batting 8th today. Shift on, 3 infielders on the right side. Leaves only Rutledge on that left side. In terms of runs scored, the Astros start the day 6th in the league. One ball and no strikes. The Astros are 13th in team batting average at .234.
Oof.
Instead of a 1-0, a throw over to first base. A little slow developing here in the second inning. 3-2 Houston.
No, just methodical.
Methodical is the right word. By the way, the two clubs hitting lower in terms of batting average than the Astros. The New York Yankees at 14th and the Tampa Bay Rays 15th. Maybe some of that explaining the slow start for the New York Yankees. They are in last place in the American League East. 15-20 on their season. These Red Sox are 23-14. A game back of Baltimore, who starts the year 23-12. Runner goes, the pitch, a strike. The throwdown is late, and Gomez has picked a bag. So the Astros get back to that running way a little bit here in the second inning.
Day off yesterday may have invigorated Carlos Gomez, who came in late in that game.
For Carlos Gomez, bag number 5 on the year. He's been caught a couple of times and now edging to a sizable lead at second base before Bogart steps in and tries to shorten up that lead. Slider on the 2-1. It's 2-2 now on Tucker.
Front shoulder came out a little quick on Preston right there.
When he struggles, and like so many hitters, that's probably the first thing I see.
You know, when things go bad, that front shoulder doesn't stay closed long enough. I agree. Having done it several thousand times.
And with it for Tucker, that lead elbow will come up. He's down on strikes. Off speed gets him. First out here in the inning. It'll bring up Jason Castro. We'll bring up Julian Morales.
Hey guys, yeah, Castro's hitting .310 in his last 16, off to a rough start this season, but he said in Seattle he made some adjustments trying to simplify things. He actually went back to a few things he was doing a while back, years ago, things that were working for him. So those few adjustments that he's made, he's feeling much better at the plate, looking much better, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. And that's one of the concerns I have. In many cases, not always, but when a guy starts to do something new, something that's going to be the new magic fix, more often than not, you hear about the change back to what had worked previously.
It's an old proverb that says, if it ain't broke, do not fix it.
And it was not broke in that 2013 All-Star season for Jason Castro.
Breaking. So true. You get back to that guy, that's another weapon in this lineup.
There's Gomez at second base. The strikeout of Tucker, number 2 on the afternoon for O'Sullivan. Throw back to second base. Bogart's darting in.
It's going to give us a chance to look at our Ford spray chart. Speaking of Jason Castro doing so well, throwing that lumber around, there it is. Those hits. Keep in mind, Castro is a left-handed hitter, so him driving the ball the other way and up the middle is a good sign that he's seeing the ball well, letting it get deep. Those hot zones are starting to pop up. It's a good thing for Castro. He swings the bat well here at Fenway, too.
Now, see, this is one of the things that really bothers me on this inside move to second base. O'Sullivan didn't even step towards second base. He dropped his left foot right at the third base side of the rubber. And the umpires, because everybody gets away with everything on the play, and by the way, Gomez hurting a little bit as he gets back in safely, but watch the left foot where it lands here. Now, that is not stepping toward the bag.
To be honest, some of the moves that we've seen going in that direction on that kind of leg lift type spin move, I don't even think the umpires care about it anymore.
It's become a non-factor because it's accepted. Whatever you do, we're going to accept.
He went hard back into second base. Get a look at it. See that right shoulder and then the knee into the head into the knee of Bogaerts.
Yeah, the other aspect of that particular play is we now see that Gomez is okay, and so he'll stay on at second base, is that infielders don't even have to be at the bag. The pitcher can do that at any time if he thinks a runner might be edging at second base. And to me, that's it's an infraction of the intent of the rule.
Those very legal terms right there.
Oh, absolutely. You didn't see my manual? I've got my manual.
I mean, you read that
too.
verbatim.
Thank you. O'Sullivan back to the plate. Castro fouls it down the left side. 0-2 the count. Now, I bet you if you check your manual, it will read the very same.
You sure about that?
Well, it's just my guess.
You've already complained about my manual being a little off.
Well, if we've got a small desk here, if you could keep that off the desk.
There's not much I can't keep off this desk.
Jason Castro went 1 for 3 with a double, pair of walks yesterday, scored a run. And fouls it back. We are already here in the second inning, top. Jason Castro has started 28, now 29 of the Astros games on the season. Rakes one hard at first base. That's handled by Shaw, who goes to the bag. Out number 2, moving into third base is Carlos Gomez. So 2 down and back to the top with Jose Altuve. Altuve flied to center field to start things. Jose with a personal 7-game hitting streak. Had quite a day yesterday, 2 for 3. He walked 3 times, scored a run on, and played his usual outstanding second base. Takes the slider for a strike. The 7-game hitting streak, season best now for Jose. Jose, who does a little housekeeping here. Leads the major leagues, does Jose Altuve, and doubles with 17. Second in extra base hits. Pretty amazing when you consider how far Jose Altuve has come. Already 26 extra base hits.
Yeah, he's become a force.
He has. Leads in runs scored. No, these are areas that Craig Biggio used to do so well in when you compared him with the rest of the major leagues. And when you're looking at Jose Altuve, you're talking about a guy who is ranked in all of the major leagues as of today, #1 in wins above replacement, that WAR category. Hits one in the air to right field. Betts will move toward the line, and battling that sun makes the catch. That'll do it. But the Astros put 3 on the board to take the lead. The big swing by Luis Valbuena.
On top. The Astros and Rangers face off in a 3-game series May 20th through the 22nd. On Saturday the 21st, 10,000 fans will receive a Lone Star Series t-shirt presented by AT&T. For tickets, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Guys.
Thank you, Julia. As we get set now for the bottom of the 2nd inning, Astros have taken the lead on the 3-run home run by Luis Valbuena. Josh Rutledge, playing at third base this afternoon, stands in and takes a strike. Right-hander Chris Davinsky works the 0-1, finds the outside edge. 0-2 the count. Rutledge, rather, as a guy who fills in around the infield. A real fine job for the Red Sox. Skies one into left center field. Gomez battles and can't make the play. And so into second base, and we'll see how they rule this. Is Rutledge to lead off here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah. The glasses, I believe, are on.
Yes.
There you get a good look at it. But the glove was up and it wasn't even shielding the eyes, which is weird to me just because usually if you put the glove up, it creates a little shade on those eyes so you can pick up the baseball. Tough sun. We saw it yesterday. Got messed up between Luis Valbuena and Carlos Correa. This one, Carlos Gomez got to a good spot. Didn't miss it by much. He just lost it the last 10 feet probably.
They have ruled this a double for Rutledge. Ground ball hit to first. White takes a good look at third base and then opts for the out at first, but I think he was genuinely thinking about going to third. Moving into third base is Rutledge on out number 1.
It's a good look yesterday. That's Carlos Correa looking at Valbuena, and Valbuena obviously plays third base, and Carlos Correa at shortstop wears it. He had no idea where that pop fly was. No sunglasses on. That's the one that caught me off guard.
Yeah. Ryan Hanigan, the 9-hitter and catcher for the Red Sox, stands in. This is devastating for pitchers when pop flies are not handled. Infield drawn in on the corners. I don't know what What your experience has been as a big league ball player, but I played for managers who didn't accept the excuse that the sun's really tough, that guys have been playing with that sun for many years and finding a way to deal with it.
It's been out there all day. It's been out there for a lot of days.
That's what I hear. Hannigan with a 1-1 count.
But again, the way he went to the baseball, he got to a spot where the baseball was. He played it into the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Kind of created an angle where the last 10, 15 feet, he lost it because of the direction he was running, put the ball into the sun.
And a line drive base hit scores a run. And it's earned against Davinsky. RBI single Ryan Hannigan, his 5th ribby of the year. And 3 of those have come in this series. And with that RBI hit, we're tied at 3.
Some of these baseballs on the 2 hits to right-handed hitters that the Red Sox have. Davinsky falling off the mound towards that first base dugout. A lot of these pitches have been leaking back over the middle of the plate when he's trying to hit that outside corner. Like that.
That's the tendency of pitchers who fall to that glove side. The ball's going to leak back toward the center of the plate. Mookie Betts got it started after falling behind back in the 1st inning. At an 0-2 count, eventually drew a walk and started that frame. He and Pedroia came around to score against Davinsky. Two 2-0 the count. And it just gets tougher from here. Pedroia, Bogarts, Shaw waiting. Look at that base hit by Ryan Hannigan to pick up the run.
And watch that release when that ball just trails right back over the middle inner third of the home plate. See the reach from Jason Castro, who was setting up on that outside corner.
Two and two now on Betts. It's already a really tough assignment facing these Boston Red Sox without any freebies out there. The changeup in the dirt makes it 3-2.
Yeah, we constantly talk about it up here about not giving the other team extra outs, making the plays in front of you. But the way the Red Sox are swinging the bats in the last, well, I guess in the month of May, any mistake you make, they're going to capitalize on it and make you pay for it.
Line drive base hit. Third hit of the inning, stopping at second. Hannigan. There is one out. That came on the Brock Holt very sharply hit ground ball. And that's it. And now Dustin Pedroia stands in.
Man, everything coming right back into right-handed hitters.
Now the location not good at all. And the need right now for a solid start is big for the Astros. Dustin Pedroia with 20 RBIs, one of the 8 different Red Sox hitters with at least 19 on the season. No other American League team has more than 4 players with 19+ RBIs. So when you talk offense, you're talking Boston Red Sox right now. Hit to right field. Springer backs to get it. Second out of the inning, tagging and moving to third base is Hannigan. So once again it leaves runners at the corners. 2 outs as Xander Bogaerts comes to the plate.
We're going to take a chance right here and look at our defensive rating system. These are the rankings of Houston Astros outfielders. And again, I think the reason that yellow light is on Carlos Gomez is more accuracy for me, because he does do a good job of getting to the baseball. Decent arm strength, but just the accuracy has been a little bit off. But at the corners, you got Rasmus and Springer, who are do not run on guys.
Xander Bogaerts with the 9-game hitting streak hit one sharply as he lined to right field in the first. Always that consideration that the Red Sox could be on the move. They are the best base running team in all of baseball, and there goes the runner. Mookie Betts has picked up a stolen base without a throw. That's 28 stolen bases for the Red Sox, and they've been caught just twice on the season. For Betts, he is 8 for 8. Two 2-0 the count. And one recipe for disaster, especially when facing a team that swings it well, is when you keep falling behind. Three balls and no strikes. Cleanup man Travis Shaw waits on deck. And now you've got Xander Bogaerts hitting .338. Does he get the green light?
I'd say so. Great RBI situation where you're pretty much guaranteed a fastball.
Well spotted. It's 3-1.
Extremely well spotted.
Runs per game, the Boston Red Sox just under the 6 mark. They're at 592 coming in. And as you watch this pitch, the next best team in the American League, the Baltimore Orioles, they're at 471. It's a full count now on Bogaerts.
Pretty good swing.
So almost a run and a quarter better are the Boston Red Sox than the next best team in the league. With first base open, Davinsky from the stretch. And again, it's foul to the seats. George Springer giving chase on that right field side. It would appear to be a packed house here this afternoon. Red Sox lost their well over 800 consecutive game sellout streak a couple of years ago. But they still continue to pack them in very well. Once again, the 3-2. Hit high and deep left field at the monster. This one is gone. It's a 3-run home run on a 3-2 pitch. And the Red Sox take this 3-3 game and now lead it 6-3.
This lineup matches if Ortiz is in the lineup or not. Top to bottom, and falling behind, like you said, Ash, gets Davinsky in a 3-0 count, having trouble locating a lot of these pitches leaking back out over the plate. But a great hitter like Xander Bogaerts, you throw him 3 straight fastballs, there's a good chance he's going to get around on one, and he did.
So the Red Sox on top 6-3 now. 9 runs between the two clubs scored over the first couple of innings. Birthday or not, you better buckle in. Travis Shaw skies one on the left side, and now Valbuena can't see it. Colby Rasmus battles and makes the play. Yeah, there are some problems going on right now. That'll do it for the Red Sox in a 4-run second inning. They lead at 6-3.
You're looking at all of his friends out there. 6'3" Red Sox now on top of the Astros top 3. Time to take a look at our Chevy Stroh poll today. Make sure to head over to the Root Sports SW Twitter page to vote in the poll. We want to know which monster shot at Fenway was the best. Altuve hit a grand slam in 2014 that was pretty impressive. Springer's had 2 homers over that green monster in the last 2 days. And then Correa with his moonshot. That went out of the ballpark. We'll show you a video here coming up in just a second, guys.
Thanks a lot, Julia. You've been hanging out with your friends out there, the mascots?
I did. I got to catch up with some of them. Missing Orbit, of course. Much love to Orbit.
Liar.
Oh, you are just, you're kissing up a little bit.
Wally's my second favorite green guy.
Okay. George Springer leads off here in the 3rd inning. Suddenly 6-3 Red Sox on top. And don't forget, by the way, that one of those 2 home runs mentioned for George Springer, a grand slam. There's Julia's buds.
Redbird was a little inappropriate before the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, do explain.
Springer fouls it back.
Why did I open my mouth? He was just a little flirty and was showing some leg at some point.
Whoa.
Told me to call him. Now it looks like he's hitting on Tessie, Wally's little sister.
Good grief. He's a
Oh
player.
my goodness.
He's a player.
Chasing her around. Run, Tessie, run. Just kidding.
Thanks for the update, Julia, as we have a 1-2 on Springer, who takes away. Well, the Astros are credited right now with 1 hit. That's the 3-run home run by Luis Valbuena. Obi Rasmus reached on a ground ball that went by the pitcher O'Sullivan. They charged him with an error. There was also a second error on the play. A throwing portion on that by Bogaerts at shortstop, but play that certainly could have been called a base hit. So the Astros 1 hit, the Red Sox 5. Julia mentioned it, 2 dingers in the series by Springer. He puts it on the ground to short. Bogaerts with the play. And out number 1. What do we have on the Stroh poll?
It's Altuve's grand salami. That would be Springer's grand salami. That's just a nice, majestic Springer home run. He thought that one was a pop-up. This one by Correa. Clean out of the stadium out on the Lansdowne Street.
It's a great time to take advantage here at Fenway. A great place all the time, but that wind has been blowing out. Kind of out towards center field and helping all fly balls. Looking at that flag, well, looking now, it's blowing out toward right field. Correa fouls it off.
No, it's definitely a blustery day. We've seen plenty of pop-ups moving around here, and these old stadiums aren't built nearly as high as some of the new stadiums these days, and pop-ups here at Fenway Park, once they get above the stands, they start moving pretty quickly.
Correa had a couple of hits yesterday. The home run is 6th on the season. Has a 2-1 count. Here on Tuesday, Carlos Correa had his 12-game on-base streak snapped. Very close. Correa got rung up in the 1st inning. A 1-2-3 frame turned in by O'Sullivan. Hit high and deep, way back to left field. See ya. Right back in the back row before getting out of this yard. 2nd home run in the series by Correa. And for Carlos on the season, number 7, make that number 7. RBI number 19. The Astros creep back by a run. It's now 6-4 Red Sox.
Too late to put that one on the strobe hole. Ball smoked. Missed his spot, too. A lot of these pitches from both pitchers are leaking back towards right-handed hitters. That ball's unloaded on.
Wonder if playing in this ballpark on a consistent basis makes players, hitters feel a little more ready to unload at all times. There's a bunt third base side by Colby Rasmus. The throw from third not in time and offline. It's a base hit for Colby. And we talked in his first at bat about his tendency to show bunt, drop a few here and there. And he successfully drops one on the third base side here in his second AB.
What should be a 2 for 2 is now a 1 for 2 for Colby Rasmus. That could be changed later on. But again, getting on base, he's been struggling a little bit, swinging the bat. Take advantage of what the team's given him. But with his ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark and hit the ball, I'd like to see him swing the bat, especially with that wind blowing out to right field. I'm not sure what the
yeah, John Farrell out to discuss things with home plate umpire Joe West. And
could it, you know what, with the throw going on the inside part of the diamond, I wonder if he's out there arguing whether or not Colby ran to the so far to the inside of the diamond to adjust the throw from the third baseman. But that's a tough angle and a tough argument for me to believe.
Did you ever feel affected on a bunt play? And we're seeing no, there was no infraction there. I don't see how any other umpire is going to have a viewpoint that's going to matter on this play, if that's the discussion.
At third base, I never had an issue. I wasn't far enough towards home plate to have that affect my throw.
Kerwin Danley, the first base umpire, we've seen him say no, and I assume he was asked the question, was there an infraction there that might have impacted Rutledge on his throw? Joe West says, after conferring, no, there's really nothing there that.
And the only time I've seen that play argued is for a catcher.
Yes.
Popping out from behind home plate where that angle's a little more intense.
Or the pitcher coming on that first base side.
Yeah.
Colby Rasmus has himself a bunt single.
Or you might have been asking if Colby stepped out of the box when he bunted it. But he's on the, it doesn't look like he's on the grass.
You know what, as he approaches the bag, he's right where everybody is, just inside of the line, getting to the center of the bag. One out here in the inning. A run in on the home run by Correa. Tyler White stands in, takes a strike.
Here, take a look at this. Watch Colby's foot. No, it's on the white line, so I guess that qualifies for being in the box. That was my only question, is maybe he stepped on the on home plate or out of the box when he made contact with the ball.
Another strike called on Tyler White. 0-2. Tyler picked up a walk in the second inning, and he was aboard on the home run hit by Valbuena. So the Astros already 2 long balls here today. Boston Red Sox have hit 1. And White takes 1 swing in the AB. He's down on strikes. Second out of the inning. Valbuena will stand in. Valbuena launched one to right field, well up and over the Astros bullpen area. Just his second of the season. It was a 3-run shot in the second inning and made it 3-2 Houston at the time. Breaking ball finds the outside edge. 0-1 the count. Valbuena went 1 for 4 yesterday. Pops it up on the right side. And handling it easily is Shaw, and that'll do it. Carlos Correa adds a run on this long ball.
Authority of Houston Astros LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros LLC.
10 runs have already been scored here in 2.5 innings. 6 for the Red Sox, 4 for Houston. And now Chris Davinsky is already done with his day's work as Mike Fiers comes in out of the Astros pen.
Interesting to see this. Fiers has been in the bullpen the last couple days. Got bumped when Lance McCullers came back. Now here in this ball game, going to be asked to handle this like a start. Get his work in, crank out some innings out of that bullpen, and help out this Astros staff a little bit, trying to shut down this Boston Red Sox lineup.
Kind of an intriguing scenario for Mike Fiers, who has allowed 8 home runs in 40 2/3 innings on the season. A fly ball pitcher. Wind blowing out at Fenway. Might be time to get some more pitches down, but Mike Fiers on the whole has pitched well. 3-1 for the club. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Well over an hour of baseball already in the books. The offenses have been quite healthy already as Fiers finds the strike zone.
Yeah, on both sides.
Hanley Ramirez at the plate. Has a ball and a strike. Ramirez had a double and drove in a run back in the 1st inning. That RBI number 23 for Ramirez. He lines one into right field, getting it started for the Red Sox in the 3rd inning. It'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr. Hanley Ramirez already a double and single. Bradley popped to the pitcher Davinsky in the 1st inning. That was the final play of that frame. A pop fly out toward the mound. Luis Valbuena didn't see it. Jason Castro unable to make a play. Little tapper, and now the flip finally from White onto a very alert Altuve at the bag to get the out. Into second base, Ramirez.
Good thing Altuve was over there covering. So that's a swinging bunt. That's not an intentional bunt, but nobody at first base after the fumble, and heads up Altuve getting to first base. Great play. Already moving in that direction, I'm sure, to back up on the play, but here had to make the decision to get to first base.
One out, Ramirez at second base. Josh Rutledge, the third baseman, stands in. Rutledge had a double and scored in the second inning. That was the fly ball routine into left center field that Carlos Gomez simply could not corral looking up into the sun. So in the end, a gift double for Rutledge.
That's how you hit 375.
That'll help. Ground ball sharply hit off the leg or foot of Fiers. Everybody's safe. That'll be an infield single. Ramirez winds up at third base. One out, runners at the corners for Brock Holt. And Fiers.
Could you imagine if he gets knocked out of that game on a play like that? Both men would be in disarray. They get a good look behind him. Just wanted to take a look and see where the infielders were behind him when this ball is hit. Would have been a hit anyways. That ball was scalded pretty good off the foot of Mike Fiers.
Two singles in the inning. Brock Holt hit it sharply as he grounded to first base in the second inning. He will stand in. The Astros will look to turn their first double play of the afternoon. Holt has been an Astros killer through the years, hitting .267 on his season. Checking down to third base. See if anything's on. I think what the Red Sox generally put on is the hit sign.
Good call.
Bluffing down to third base, Hanley Ramirez. One ball, no strikes. Here in the series for Holt, just a couple of hits. One for, make that 2 for 10 as he stands in. Runner goes from first as the pitch is fouled back. Like most clubs, most of the running game comes off of green lights. Rutledge, in fact, has not stolen base, has not attempted one on the season.
Doing everything else right, why not give it a shot?
I guess if you want to get more playing time on this Red Sox club, you better swing the bat and steal a few bags. The 1-1 from Fiers. There's that slide step, and that'll cut down on the running notions. Brock Holt, in fact, went 0 for 3 with a walk on Friday night. That snapped a 17-game career hitting streak against the Astros for Holt. It had been the longest active streak against Houston in the bigs. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second, and not in time. Looked like Castro took an extra beat before releasing.
Tough pitch to throw on too with that changeup Mike Fiers used for the strikeout against Brock Holt. It's a good look at it. Good pitch, pulls a string. Yeah, there was a slight hesitation.
Yeah. I'm not sure Castro knew the runner was going. And there was a reaction by Castro after the play that looked to me like one where the catcher's saying, how about somebody let me know? Because with the left-hand hitter at the plate, you can't see it. Little chopper's foul. Stays at 2-2.
Sorry, didn't punch out Rockhold. I thought that was strike 3. First base, when I held the runner on at first base, I made it my responsibility to scream runner.
Yep.
When he took off to steal the base. I don't think it's much a responsibility for other guys in there because you're so close to the play at first, you can feel and see him running. Everybody else pretty much focused on the hitting zone.
Off speed again, and the strikeout of Holt. So you were ultimately right. Second out of the inning. Runners at second and third, and Ryan Hanigan stands in.
I'm glad because I wrote it in my book too. I had to have erased that.
Quick.
Man.
And to be fair to Tyler White, we don't know if he hollered or not, and sometimes in the noisy yard, fans close by, you just can't hear.
Exactly. Broke out the split finger for the punch out.
Ryan Hanigan 1 for 1, drove in a run and scored a run. He was aboard on the home run by Xander Bogaerts. Nice job by Castro. Pretty nice battery for the Boston Red Sox today, with Ryan make that Sean O'Sullivan and the catcher Ryan Hanigan. The Irish will be proud here this afternoon.
You don't say.
Bring it on. Fastball finds the inside edge.
I'm a little more comfortable doing it in between
you
on-air segments.
You bring it in between innings.
I have a tendency to break it out on the golf course every once in a while if I actually hit a good shot too, which is rare.
In between Harry Carey dealing out there.
Yeah, I need to start coming out with some impersonations, huh? Have a good time with that.
Good. Harry working pretty well. 2 balls and a strike.
Haven't perfected the hawk. Going into Chicago.
Yeah. The home run call?
Yeah, I haven't worked on that one.
Ken Harrelson is the hawk. Ken Harrelson was, once upon a time, was he a member of the Red Sox?
I believe so.
No, he was in Cleveland. And now 3-1. First base is open, but waiting on deck, leadoff man Mookie Betts. The 3-1 from Fiers. There's that change, or the splitter. 3-2 now.
Pulling the string in a fastball count. Fiers actually has both. Throws that changeup right here, but eventually he'll get to that split finger if he's trying to go for that strikeout. Good pitch.
You can see the splitter grip right there. Still the same impact as a changeup with that one. "3-2, hit sharply into left field. Second hit for Hanigan. A run scores, and now 2 will cross as Colby can't come up with it. And I would imagine it'll be a single with 2 RBIs. And the Red Sox strike again. It's now 8-4 Boston.
Hanigan proving to be a real thorn in the side. Not that there's any holes in this lineup, but you'd like to take advantage of the 9-hole hitter in this situation, Ryan Hanigan, but he's getting some good pitches to hit. And you can see Fiers backing up with another changeup. And again, that one fresh in the mind of Ryan Hanigan. Picked up the rotation quickly, stayed back, and turned on it.
And again, Hanigan came into this series with the Astros with 2 RBIs on the season. He's picked up 5 in the series now, with 3 today. So even I can come up with 7 on the year now for Hanigan. Mookie Betts at the plate. Well, it is a lethal bunch.
Is it too early to talk about the bowling prowess of Mookie Betts?
Well, we talked about it yesterday, but you can bring that back.
He's got 4 300 games in bowling. That's perfection. He's even bowled in a PBA event. I think he got his, is he getting service time in the PBA?
I'm guessing he doesn't need those curbs that some of us use, right?
Yeah. You still use those?
Right.
No, I found at bowling alleys there will be radar guns at one of our local.
Oh, radar guns,
at
really?
At our local bowling alley to see how fast you bowl, how the rate of speed, and that affects my game quite a bit.
I'll bet it does.
I
yeah.
am trying to ramp up the velocity as opposed to the accuracy.
I'm betting you lose your finesse game pretty solidly.
Yes, I let it rip. All the while, my wife and kids are in the background with their hands over their ears and fearful of what's going to happen.
Pins exploding as you.
I'm doing my best to try to make that happen.
Fly ball hit to center field. Let's keep our eyes on this. Gomez makes the catch, and that'll do it. The Red Sox put 2 more on the board. After 3, they lead it 8-4.
Already in this game, 8 of them going to the Boston Red Sox. Beautiful day here in Fenway. The Coca-Cola Value Nights package scores you a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn, all for just 18 bucks. To get this great ballpark bargain, visit Astros.com/Coke Value or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
It's out in the right field area, out beyond the stands. We know it well. That's the path out to the bus that we'll employ at the end of the ball game, and right down the right field line. Into the 4th inning we go. 8-4, Red Sox on top. Carlos Gomez stands in and pops it up. At second base, Pedroia, and what a battle he put on as the sun came back out from behind some clouds. And that's how you do it here at Fenway. Out number 1 in the 4th inning.
Good play by the veteran.
I'll bring up Preston Tucker.
See, when that glove is up, it's shading the eyes. See him working hard to stay on that baseball. Good play.
And it's a battle, but it's a battle that needs a way to get it done right there. And Pedroia able to make that play. Preston Tucker struck out in the second. Red Sox have put 2 on the board in the first inning, 4 in the second, 2 more in the third. The Astros 3 in the second, 1 in the third. And I imagine right now, Blummer, it's time to go swing the bats and make some noise happen. Tough pitch down and away, 2-1.
Well, you and I played long enough to understand the woes of this game and the highs in this game. There's really only one way to play it, and that's to play hard. The second you start becoming passive at this game, it'll run right by you and bury you. So of course, I'm with you in the sense I'm a big fan of offenses just going out there and getting good pitches to hit, letting it fly. But the thing for me in that thought process is be ready to hit. Have that foot down, have the hands back, and have a positive mentality that you're going to go out there and take some good healthy hacks. And take pitches that should be strikes as balls.
It was another tough pitch.
It was nasty.
Possibly callable. It's 3-2 now on Preston. Part of that you're talking about, being ready to maybe foul off some tough pitches with 2 strikes on you.
Well, that's the thing. Be ready to hit. Be ready to fight.
Sharply hit. Shift on though, and Pedroia in shallow right field makes the play. Second out of the inning.
And this moment in history is brought to you by MD Anderson. 2005 is the year, and on this date in 2005, Morgan Ensberg, that entire season, swung an amazingly powerful bat. Power to all fields, went 4 for 4. That included 3 bombs and 5 RBIs, just obliterating giant pitching there at Minute Maid Park. He was getting it done that year.
3 different pitchers on those home runs. Were you in that lineup that day?
2005, I'm not going to tell you where I was at.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of fans tweeting at you, reminding you.
Well, you know, I actually allowed myself to miss the year that took place, but yeah, I know where you were.
It was in San
Keenly
Diego
aware.
San Diego for 3/4 of it.
Jason Castro at the plate has a 1-1 count. Castro grounded out to first, that in the second inning. Chris Devenski started today, lasted just 2 innings, as A.J. Hinch opted to go to the bullpen, and we haven't received any word as to whether there might be something physical involved for Devenski. Big Poppy came up with a big one last night, yesterday. In fact, a couple. Home run and double, the double to win the ball game. 2 outs in the 9th inning.
He was a single away from the cycle.
Yeah, he had the double, triple, and home run. Wow. And I imagine he could stretch a double into a single after that.
I'm sure he would have given it his best effort.
2-2 on Castro. Who lines one, and a leaping grab by Pedroia. It's a 1-2-3 inning as Pedroia plays a little D in one of the defensive plays on a simple pop-up. 8-4 Boston.
Astros 8-4 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Follow the Astros baseball live and stay up to the moment with Game Day, live highlights, StatCast, and more with the MLB.com @bat app. Download the app for your phone or tablet now, guys.
Thank you, Julia. We were just sitting here chatting about the defense by Dustin Pedroia in that previous half inning. Great leaping grab on the line drive by Castro, but maybe just the second best defensive play that he made in the inning as he was able to haul in that pop fly in the sun.
No, I agree. Take a look at that line drive from Jason Castro trying to make a bid for a hit. Little man got up there.
Battle that sun and win, and you've really done something here. Pedroia at the plate. Hits it to Altuve, first out of the inning. Get up.
You'd have caught that standing up, Ash.
See, the fact of the matter is no jump of mine would have helped on the play.
No, but I'm with you. That's one thing. The pop fly in the sun, that is no joke, trying to battle that and find the angle that you can see the ball all the way into the glove.
But at the same time, you could see the experience of Dustin Pedroia here in the day games, and even Travis Shaw made it look routine on the first base side a couple innings back. With one out, three-hitter Xander Bogaerts at the plate. He is lined out and homered. That home run, a big one. Three-run job in the second inning. His fourth on the year. Hits it in the air, center field. That's deep. Gomez back at the track and just able to haul it in as he kept drifting on this. That wind blowing out, and it is really impacting things.
Playing a little bit deeper on Xander Bogaerts, which is good to see. You see that positioning well far further back than he normally plays, but does a good job with the karaoke style move with the hips, getting his head to stay on the baseball and track it the whole way. That was a pretty good play.
Did you say karaoke style move?
Yeah. You ever done that exercise?
No,
yeah,
no.
It's like a plyometric warm-up. You kind of run one way and turn your hips, run the other way.
We're going to have a quick 1-2-3 inning as the ground ball goes to first base off the bat of Shaw. Tyler White with the play, and Mike Fiers gets through quickly in the fourth inning. We played 4 with the Sox on top. Eight to 4. They've out hit the Astros 8-3, and Chris Stavinsky lasting only 2 innings in this one. We go to the 5th. Top of the order, Jose Altuve to lead it off, followed by Springer and Correa. Altuve with a 7-game hitting streak, 0 for 2 on the day, a couple of fly ball outs. And has had that batting average dip all the way to 340 now. 9 home runs for Jose. Falls behind 0-1. Sean O'Sullivan on the hill. After taking the first strike, has to deal with that tough one away.
Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders, and this is OPS. Remember, that's on base percentage and slugging percentages combined. And look who's on top, David Ortiz. But look who's pulling into third place right there. Unsuspectingly powerful Jose Altuve. Talked about the walks being ramped up with his selection at home plate. And with that, pitchers getting back into the strike zone a little bit, and he's been driving the ball.
Leads the Bigs with 17 doubles. Hits it sharply through the hole on the left side. Altuve back at it. He's 1 for 3 on the day. And even that will drag his lofty batting average downward.
Did a good job of getting on top of that pitch. Like Hannigan wanted about 1.5 feet on the outside corner, and this one up out of the zone, but he gets on top of it nicely and barrels it up for a base hit.
Altuve had 2 hits in game 1 of the series, 3 in the second, 2 more yesterday, and now his first here this afternoon. Speed aboard. George Springer at the plate. And O'Sullivan obviously has heard the news. There's George Springer. We've mentioned it numerous times. Kind of back home for George, close to his home area and the ballpark that he used to come to and watch major league games and maybe dream a little bit, and he's fulfilled some of those dreams here in this set. A grand slam, a couple of home runs for George, 8 RBIs over the first 3 games. Second player in Major League history to hit a grand slam as at a visitor at both Fenway and Yankee Stadium in a single season. Former Astros general manager Al Rosen is the other guy. Did it back in '51. Al Rosen was a terrific player.
They have things line up nicely for you to be able to pull that effort off.
Opening series of the season at Yankee Stadium. That's where George hit his first grand slam. Maybe a flair for the dramatic. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Back-to-back knocks. Altuve and Springer. Altuve sprints for third and is in, and taking advantage of the throw to third, Springer as he gets into second.
It's just beautiful baseball by the top 2 hitters in the Astros lineup, forcing the issue. Good swing by George Springer, but I love Altuve just running in the face of Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field. This would be a great look at it. Ball sneaking back up the middle, but watch Altuve. There's a school of thought that says if you are turning second base and an outfielder does not have the baseball in their glove, you go. And Altuve's got the speed to do it. Now you get to watch the trail runner, George Springer, recognizing that throw, going to third base, takes the extra 90 feet. Nice base running.
Pitching coach Carl Willis out to the mound, the entire Red Sox infield, along with the catcher out there. As they chat things over, Joe West is going to take care of that meeting here shortly. But yes, and you see the Red Sox will get Robbie Ross loosening in their pen. Speed doesn't always mean stolen bases. Sometimes it's just simply taking the extra bag.
Would you be surprised to know that all of Carlos Correa's home runs this year are solo?
Yeah, I would.
They are.
That's the case. Well, let's break that one up.
Yep.
That's lasted long enough. Carlos has homered on the day. That came in the 3rd inning. A strikeout and a home run for Carlos. And the Astros with a golden opportunity to creep back into this ball game. Of course, you don't always have to creep when you make your moves.
Giving themselves opportunities to stay in this ball game.
Carlos now has 7 home runs. We are approaching the quarter pole. That'll take place in Chicago after game 1. So some of the numbers you can kind of take a look at and assess how well a player is doing. Hit to center field and dropping, but not fast enough. Bradley makes the catch. Altuve unable to tag and come to the plate. And a strong throwing arm shown by Jackie Bradley Jr. So it's a fly out and nobody advancing. 1 out now for Colby Rasmus.
That ball was scalded, with Jackie Bradley coming in. There you see the red light. It's tough to test him, but all of his momentum was coming towards home plate, so that was going to be a strong throw. And Brock Holt, utility guy, moving all over the infield and outfield. Try and test him a little bit shallow out there and left. Thank you to Lexus for those. But again, this is a low sinking line drive, and Bradley did a great job of getting behind it, throwing a nice strong throw to home plate.
Nice job also by Hannigan, who gets his body in front. John Farrell has seen enough. He's coming out to the mound. And so the Red Sox will make a change. He points to the left-hander Robbie Ross. So for O'Sullivan, maybe frustrating. He will not be awarded with a win today, even if the Red Sox pick it up. He doesn't get the 5 innings in. With 1 out and the Red Sox on top, Robbie Ross jogs it in. We'll be right back.
Over the Houston Astros here in the top of the 5th, with the Astros threatening. This is going to be a good one. Kick off your weekends at Minute Maid Park. Every Friday home game with the best fireworks show in town. The next Friday night fireworks of the season is May 20th and is Texas country themed. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I'd like to send an extended thanks out to the guys in the truck for giving me another opportunity to blow that one up, and I didn't. Take that.
That's themmed in some neighborhoods.
I wanted to them that thing last night.
Big opportunity for the Astros. Runners at second and third. Colby Rasmus at the plate, but now he'll face the lefty Robbie Ross as the first pitch is fouled back. There's the look, huh?
Cole Bowie Rasmus.
Cole Bowie.
One of Bowie's alter egos right there with that face paint going on. Lightning bolt.
Got some really creative people.
They do a good job.
Slider just away. Close pitch. Colby Rasmus, for both of us here in the booth, should be 2 for 2 on the day. Officially, he is 1 for 2. A bunt single in the 3rd inning. Cole Bowie lays off the slider way outside. It's 2-1.
The ultimate Cole Bowie. Cole Bowie?
Is it Cole Bowie?
I don't know.
Speed aboard. Altuve at third. Springer at second. And now Colby with a couple of strikes on him. Tough at bat here for Colby, and a big one for the club. Robbie Ross, 26 years of age. And that slider gets him off the edge, but Colby offers a big second out, and now Tyler White comes to the plate.
It was a very tough pitch. Robbie Ross, tough on lefties with that sweeping slider. Did a good job of spinning that one away from Colby Rasmus. Now you've got something interesting. Rookie Tyler White at the plate, been scuffling a little bit, struck out in his last at bat. The first base is open, and you have left-handed hitting Luis Valbuena behind him.
Yeah. Time for a breakout party right here. What do you say?
I'm with you. I don't think it's a situation where the Red Sox are going to try and pitch or intentionally walk Tyler White, but I think it's an opportunity for Tyler White to really zone in on something he can drive.
There goes that unusual take by Tyler White.
They're going to talk about the catcher Hannigan. It was an interesting situation at home plate all the way around.
Tyler White's body just moving all over the place. I missed the Hannigan portion of the program. There goes Tyler again. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't see the and again, every hitter is different, has their own quirks and movements, but I'm not sure why on a pitch up that I'm going to have that hip glide and that front shoulder coming up as I take it.
Yeah. And it leads to the fall back. Very unusual. On that pitch, fully understandable. 3-0 the count. And this could be the game plan. I wonder if they just decided pitch to him, but don't throw a strike throughout the sequence of pitches.
Good old unintentional intentional walk,
which oftentimes can get fully messed up. And the 4th. So I think you're exactly right. I think that's the unintentional, or rather the intentional.
Yeah, but they were trying to get the youngster Tyler White to maybe fish after a couple pitches and see if they couldn't get him to chase. But yeah, I'm not sure there was much intent of attacking the strike zone.
Second walk picked up by Tyler White today. Now Luis Valbuena goes against the lefty. And Valbuena has had a big swing today. Launched his 2nd home run of the year. Came in the 2nd. Couple aboard. Big 3-run shot. Got a shot now with the bases loaded. Robbie Ross, the former Texas Ranger, will bring it to Valbuena. So Hannigan goes out to the hill. So tough for the left-hand hitters when they're called upon in big situations against tough left-handers, especially out of the pen. Very close. 2-0 the count. Of course, they don't always have to come out of the pen. Chris Sale's coming up pretty soon.
Man, pretty good pitch.
Very callable. Valbuena on the 2-0 fouls it. In fact, Chris Sale will pitch the 3rd of the 3 games in Chicago. Astros against the White Sox coming up. Slated to pitch for the Astros, Dallas Keuchel, Doug Fister, and Mike Fiers. That Fiers start may take a twist. Drive to right center field and deep. And dropping, and it gets up and over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double. And that bounce over the wall, very hurtful for the Astros. Otherwise, they likely put 3 on the board. A 2-run double for Luis Valbuena. And now 5 ribbies on his day.
A couple of good swings from Valbuena today. Finally getting some warranted bat flips from Luis. But again, the Red Sox catch a break with this ball being driven and bouncing off the warning track into the stands, because I'm with you. In a 2-out situation, a ball driven like this, even Tyler White, who's off with a connection on the bat there, I believe would have scored easily deep in that 420 corner.
It brings up Carlos Gomez. And we've got a 2-run game now. 8-6 Red Sox lead over the Astros. For Gomez on the day, he has walked and stolen a base. He's also popped out 0 for 1 and now 0 for his last 16.
A little bit of a slider that stays in the middle part of the zone, and that was a great swing by Luis Valbuena.
And right on time for the Astros. Stay in this thing and keep swinging away. 2 balls and a strike on Gomez.
Kind of a similar situation, or similar at bat that we saw with Tyler White. Again, Preston Tucker, the left-handed hitter, on deck. Try and get a guy like Gomez to chase, get himself out. If he doesn't, he goes to first, and you attack the left-handed hitter.
Gomez takes a strike. Runners at second and third here, and a 2-1 offering.
Or they just might be attacking the zone with Carlos Gomez.
There are times you come right after him. And that fastball up and in gets a piece of Gomez. So that loads him up once again. Gomez reaching twice today, walking and being hit by the pitch. Is he glancing at that first base dugout?
Gomez is having a rough afternoon, and I mean in the sense of that he's almost broke his neck diving into second base on a pickoff attempt. Now he just wears one on that left elbow pad.
Well, that was hard up and in, and you can see Hannigan set up in to begin with.
Got that one in the shoulder. Out. But again, 2 strikes. Not too many times you see pitchers attack hitters with fastballs on their body with a 2-strike count.
Carl Willis, the pitching coach, out to the hill again. And again, that entire infield of the Red Sox met at the mound. Bases loaded. 2 outs, and the left-handed bat of Preston Tucker comes to the plate. For the Astros, another lefty swinging it, waiting on deck. That's Jason Castro. But now a golden opportunity for Tucker. See that lead elbow come flying up.
96 from Robbie Ross.
Bringing it. So Tucker falls behind 0-1. .95, so you're talking mid and plus 90s from Robbie Ross right now. All the more in terms of plaudits for Luis Valbuena and that big double. And again away. And with the bases loaded, nowhere to put him, so you would figure Ross has to come in right now. For Tucker is the time I would think you try to find the heater in the zone and drill one. Two and two the count. Got him. High heat at 94, striking out Preston Tucker, and that'll do it. The Astros strand 3, but they put a couple on the board. Baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Jumbolicious Jumbo Meal before it's gone. Only at Jack in the Box. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa dinger to Houston Children's Charity. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. 8-6 in a slugfest here at Fenway Park. Mike Fiers, second pitcher of the day for the Astros, on to work it. Facing 5-hitter Hanley Ramirez, who's 2 for 2. He has doubled and singled. Fiers falls behind, 2-1. 8 Boston hits on the day, 6 for the Astros. There are 3 errors up on the board. Two and 2 on Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez, now 32 years of age. Twelve-year veteran in the major leagues. Think about what a fine career he's had. 214 career home runs. 296 lifetime hitter, and that curveball gets away. That'll fill it. It's an odd batting stance right there.
Tough. Small zone to work with. Tough to pitch to. Create some power coming out of that crouch, though.
I wonder how many remember that Hanley Ramirez was the Rookie of the Year in the National League back in 2006. Drives one to center field. Gomez is back to the wall. It's off the wall. And extra bases again now. Hanley Ramirez will stop with a double. His 3rd hit of the afternoon, 2 doubles and a single, and it starts things here in the 5th inning for Boston. Did that hit above Gomez or to the side?
It was in the general vicinity. Hanley swinging a pretty good bat today. 3rd hit on the day, 2nd double, drove this one, twisting away from Gomez. That hit farther down on the wall than I thought it did.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Because he was looking to elevate. Maybe it hit a little bit higher. I'm not sure.
It's a tough area to tell. Little different look than the rest of the wall, but that looked to me like it hit off to the left side of Gomez. Anyway you slice it, leadoff double, Bradley at the plate, who stings one to center field. That's a base hit. Ramirez had to freeze and only gets to third. For Hanley, or make that for Jackie Bradley Jr. now. That extends the hitting streak. 21 games, and that one was hung out.
Longest hitting streaks in Red Sox history. Jackie Bradley climbing up, trying to get on that list. 21 games now.
Dustin Pedroia, also a part of this Red Sox Now team, had a 20-gamer some years back. But here come the Red Sox once again. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Josh Rutledge at the plate. He's 2 for 2, a double and a single. And you can't forget about the speed of Bradley down at first base. Fires from the stretch. There goes the runner at first. Ground ball to third. And they've got Ramirez hung up between home and third. Tag applied by Castro. Nicely done between Valbuena and Castro. And that left the trailing runner, Bradley, unable to move to third base. So that's a nice exchange for the Astros.
Well, that was a really good play by Luis Valbuena. Hanley Ramirez found himself in a tough spot. Third baseman playing in. Ball hit right at him on one hop. No chance for Hanley to get back, but credit Valbuena for going aggressively after Hanley, not allowing too many throws to allow Jackie Bradley to get to third.
So he's had a couple of big swings today. Now a big defensive play. One out for Brock Holt.
I was the same way. I was a great third baseman when I got a couple of hits under my belt.
It helps that defensive side. You kind of smooth things out a little bit.
Most definitely.
The question is, for how many players that you've ever played for, with, or against, did you feel like a couple of nice defensive plays turned their offensive game positive?
Not too many.
Yeah, it doesn't tend to work that way.
Doesn't translate that way, unfortunately.
Swinging that bat will cure a lot of ills for a player. Ground ball right side. Altuve, a fine play. He can only get the out at first, and he gets it. A second out in the inning as the other two runners move up, but that is a gem.
Yes, it was. It kept Jackie Bradley from scoring and gets an out of it. Kind of a double bonus. Jose Altuve's continuing to play great defense. See him give a look, but I think opted for the smart choice in getting the sure out.
Look, as you size the situation up, that's the out you have to get, and it has to come to you so quickly. 2 outs for 9-hitter Ryan Hanigan, who is not swinging it like a 9-hitter. 2 for 2, a couple of singles, 3 RBIs on his day. You know what? Right about now, being the 9-hitter for the Boston Red Sox is not a bad spot to be.
That's what I was thinking about too, because we saw Jackie Bradley in that 9-hole the first 2 games this series, and he was raking. That's where he's gotten all of his hits from.
Even with the 2 hits today and the 5 RBIs in the series, Hanigan's hitting just 184 on the season. It's now 2 balls and no strikes, first base open, but this is the man you want. Waiting on deck, you go right back to the top, Mookie Betts, to start that parade of hitters.
It's a tale of 2 offensive ball clubs. One offensive, the other offensive, 2 offensive. The numbers can speak to which reference to the word.
Hanigan takes a strike.
I'm gonna have to put that on my demo reel. That was pretty good.
Now, was Was that a Canadian reference with the offensive?
Yeah, the offensive. Having trouble making outs. But no offense taken.
Yeah. No, none whatsoever. The Red Sox in that category you were just talking about, 3 for 4 with 2 outs. So, man, that usually sizes up a pretty good day offensively. It is hockey playoff season, you know.
You got your beard going?
You have to if you're a hockey fan, right?
I think that's the reason I never played hockey or got involved, because I can't grow a beard. I'd have been laughed off the team.
What about the ladies, the big hockey fans, the ladies?
They grow beards?
I don't know. Hannigan taps one foul. Well, you come to Fenway, and there's a lot of those Boston Red Sox fans. Better be ready to ride out a lengthy ball game. They will grind them out here. And we noted it yesterday. Game went on for a good long while, and the fans just hung in. That little tapper stays fair. White makes the play, and that'll do it. So Fiers gets out of the inning despite the early goings for the Red Sox. Still 8-6 Boston.
Astros, and we'll get a look at Jose Altuve, who's coming up here at a single in his last at bat, and he's been on fire really all this season. It's not much of a recent streak for him. We've seen him do it since day one. And AJ Hinch talking about the guy at the top of his lineup, saying, you know, we're seeing him mature into a true all-around hitter. And before the season, Jose went to the coaching staff and wanted to be better. How can I be better? He's very goal-oriented, so was asking different ways. And pitch selection, discipline were the two areas where the staff, the Astros, knew he could get better. So that's what he's worked on so far this season. And we're seeing a really good hitter for the Astros at the top of this lineup, guys.
Absolutely, Julia. And there certainly are improvements with Altuve. And then you consider again, and we were talking about it the other day, 341 batting champ from 2 years ago, but just different aspects of the game. That defensive side so solid these days. Jason Castro leading off for the Astros, trailing by a pair of runs as we go to the 6th inning. Left-hander Robbie Ross still on to work it. The Red Sox have a right-hander loosening in their pen.
Tell you what, after he wins another Silver Slugger at second base this year, he can give me a call. I'll challenge him. Tell him to hit left-handed.
You're going to turn him into a switch hitter now, huh?
Well, he's looking for challenges. I made it look like a challenge.
There's your right-hander in the pen. Hard throwing, big right-hander. Hembree, we've seen him in the series and saw him back in Houston. He can bring it. 2 balls and a strike. Jason Castro trying to kickstart something here in the 6th inning. And draws a walk. Skipper's coming out. John Farrell will go to the mound and point to the bullpen. Bring on the right-hander Hembree. So with the leadoff man aboard, we'll be right back here in the 6th. Red Sox lead it, but the Astros have a man aboard as Castro leads off the 6th inning with a walk. And now right-hander Heath Hembree comes on to work for Boston.
He'll be making his 8th appearance. As talked about the velocity in this young man's arm, he pitches at close to 94 miles an hour, has a slider, curveball, and a changeup. Tough task in front of him with Altuve. Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. Remember, Dustin Pedroia won an MVP in 2008. Those are the numbers. On the right are Jose Altuve's projected numbers, and they are massive. He would have to keep up a pretty healthy pace to get to that 42 home run mark. 102 RBIs, but those are Triple Crown type numbers on the right-hand side if he can continue this pace. But smaller second baseman in Pedroia won himself an MVP, putting up some pretty good numbers and propelling his team into some victories.
A lot of that East Coast media got behind what Pedroia was doing, and Jose Altuve is going to need some of that kind of support as well. And it should be there with what he's doing. Altuve 1 for 3 on the day. 8-game hitting streak in tow. And that batting average at .344 for Jose. Very special player. He is no longer that guy that's a pretty good little second baseman for the Astros. Tough pitch right there. 0-2 the count. Hembree brings it. In the 6th inning, got him jammed in here today at Fenway. Ground ball left side. They'll get one at second, 5, 4, and 3, and not in time on the back end. Altuve with that speed able to leg it out. First out of the inning. Castro erased 5-4.
Good effort. I always appreciate the hustle from Jose Altuve.
One out as George Springer comes to the plate. George is 1 for 3. Took a really nice play by right fielder Mookie Betts to get George back in the first inning. Little pop fly down the line. George has singled and scored, those coming in the 5th inning. Runner goes, Altuve on the move, and he's got another bag. He's 14 for 15 on the year. And he is the major league leader in that category.
Good job sliding in there. He pops up and still on the bag.
Now with that stolen base, Altuve in scoring position. Springer with a nice opportunity to drive in another run here at Fenway. Springer hitting .265. 9 home runs, and we were talking about the quarter pole coming up. Could George put himself in a position as confidence continues to grow to be one of those 35, maybe 40 home run a year guys? And when you're talking Springer, you're always talking great defense in right field.
Filthy and with velocity.
Hembree is making life tough right here. In that Boston series at Houston, Hembree was beating some of those numbers you were talking about in terms of velocity. Runner goes, the pitch is swing and a miss. Another stolen base, Altuve. Numbers 14 and 15 now as he extends that lead in the major leagues, and now 90 feet away, but Springer down on strikes. So it's 2 outs now in the hands of Carlos Correa. And that speed can bring on mistakes, that throw in the dirt. Get Altuve aboard with a fielder's choice, beating out the back end of a would-be double play ball. And then suddenly 2 stolen bases. He's at third base. Carlos Correa 1 for 3 today. That one a big one, a solo home run that came in the 3rd. There's the big swing. Good and aggressive by Carlos Correa.
Didn't look too comfortable after that swing.
No.
Right ankle?
Oh no.
Sometimes your spikes can get stuck in the box and some of that clay rotate on them, and it doesn't rotate the way you want. Maybe a little bit of a stinger.
Keep looking for that big swing. Ground ball hit to third. Rutledge with the play, high and safe at first is Carlos Correa, and that'll produce a run as Altuve, because of the 2 stolen bases, able to score and make it a 1-run game. And hustling down the line to enable that all to happen, Carlos Correa. It's now 8-7 Boston.
Good hustle by Correa, and showed no ill effects with that ankle if he was having an issue with it, but good hustle. Credit the young man for playing through the bag. Because if he's not hustling, Travis Shaw comes down with that throw and gets the out. There you get a good look at it. Head down, just keep running, play through the bag, and he gets it. Extend this inning and get a run out of it.
So that'll bring up Colby Rasmus, who had a tough at bat last time up. A big situation, striking out against the lefty Robbie Ross. It's an E5 and the third Boston error of the afternoon. Shift on for Rasmus. It really was a big one to beat out. And you again have to reflect in the inning about what Altuve did to make that run happen on the board. People will look at stats and no, he didn't get a hit, but he stole a couple of bags after beating out a would-be double play. Correa held on down at first base. He's picked up 5 stolen bases this year. This pitch is drilled down the left field side and a long run to no avail. Here comes Correa around third. The throw coming in, and there will be no play at the plate. RBI double Colby Rasmus. The Astros have caught the Red Sox at 8.
Piece of hitting. Colby Rasmus, eye makeup and all, is getting the job done. Really doing a good job of forcing that ball to that left field side. Really a concerted effort to make that swing. Going to left field, does enough to get it over the head of Brock Holt, and Brock Holt, given that attempt, overruns it and allows Gary Pettis to put the wheel on and get Correa home easy. Some good base running in this ball game, some good ABs being put together, and we're all tied up again.
Keep on battling, and that's what the Astros are doing back in the ball game. Tyler White now at the plate, has walked twice and struck out on the afternoon. Far less aggressive approach right now by Tyler White than over that first 10 days or so of the season. 0 for his last 10. Hembury brings it, and now 0-2 on Tyler. The Astros come into play today averaging just about 4.1 runs a game. The 2 home runs give the Astros 48 as a club. Reaching out and lining one to right field, Tyler White. Coming around third, Colby Rasmus. He will make it. RBI single, Tyler White. And the Astros have put 3 on the board here in the 6th inning and lead over the Red Sox 9-8.
Just poke it out there. Slider away. Sometimes that's all it takes right now. You just get the barrel on the bat, there's a good chance it's going to turn into a hit. With as many base runners are out there, you're going to get those stakes. An aggressive Colby Rasmus on this base hit with 2 outs. Sprinting around, throw not nearly on line. Astros got something going. There's only Tyler White's 2nd RBI since April 30th.
It's been quiet, hasn't it? Wow. It's a lot to credit a number of guys with here in the inning. But Jose Altuve, a big part of what has taken place. And now Luis Valbuena, maybe another shot at a big swing. He's had 2 of them today. 3-run home run and a 2-run double. And that double came against the lefty Robbie Ross. sometimes it's little things in an inning that will really add up for a club. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 on Luis. Jose Altuve doing a lot of little and big things for this club.
Correa hustling through on that ground ball also.
Absolutely.
But Altuve got on base by sprinting out a possible double play ball too.
Springer followed with a strikeout, and if all that had come together in that same fashion, and it doesn't, but that's the only thing we have, you've got a 1-2-3 inning. Or rather a 3-hitter inning. The 1-2. So the Astros retake the lead. They held the lead briefly in the second inning, 3-2, and now on top 9-8. Got some colder weather coming into the Boston area that will arrive sometime between now and tomorrow. It's gotten kind of chilly. 3-2 the count. Carlos Gomez waits on deck. Jeff Blum is chilled up here in the booth, but we're going to keep the window open for a while.
I am chilling. I am chilled.
Oh, that's, I got it. I got you. 3-2. Tyler White will be on the move. First baseman Travis Shaw playing right behind him. And now backs off. There goes White. And the pitch hit on the ground back to the mound. Hembree makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Astros have a big 6th inning. 3 on the board and lead over the Red Sox 9-8.
Over the Red Sox, bottom of the 6th. 2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale now for only $25. Buddies members get a voucher for 4 tickets to an Astros game, VIP access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive autograph sessions, and more. Memberships for kids up to 12 years old are available by visiting astros.com/buddies. Ash?
Thank you, Julia. Oh, nice comeback in this ball game for the Astros. Top of the order for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. Mookie Betts will lead it off. Mike Fiers still on the hill. He has worked it since coming on in the 3rd inning in relief of Chris Davinsky. And that first pitch, a strike. Mookie Betts 2 for 3 on the day. Has scored a pair of runs. And stolen a base. Chops one to third on 2 hops. Valbuena with the play. Throw in the dirt, but Tyler White, who has been pretty darn good with the glove down at first base, able to dig it out.
This pitching performance is powered by Kubota. Looking back on Roger Clemens in 2005 with the Astros, made 32 starts, only 13 wins with that incredible ERA at 1.87. I do believe he set a record that year with that 1.87, being the oldest pitcher to ever lead the league in ERA. His FIP was at 2.87, Ash.
His
FIP was at 2.87.
His nice, thanks. Yeah, I'm good on that. Great play, Valbuena gets up and fires, but offline. It'll be an infield single for Dustin Pedroia, but that was some kind of gem by Valbuena.
Great job of getting to it. Throw off line because he's unable to get that front shoulder back pointed towards first base, which is tough to do when you open up like that. Long throw from that part of the diamond, but a great pickup, which essentially keeps Pedroia at first base on a sure, what could have been a sure double.
And by the way, just for your edification, that 2.87 FIP that year was the best in the league.
You are correct.
Now, he won the Cy Young Award the previous year with a 2.98 ERA, 18-4, went 187 and finished third in the Cy Young voting. Talking about Roger Clemens.
He's only allowing 6.5 hits per 9 innings.
I'm telling you, those years he was with the Astros, it was phenomenal.
His whip right at 1.
Pitch up and in. Xander Bogaerts at the plate, 1 for 3 with a home run. It is 4th home run of the year, a 3-run job in the 2nd inning. So who are the 2 guys in front of Roger Clemens that 2005 season in terms of Cy Young voting? Chris Carpenter won it. Dontrelle Willis went 22 and 10 and finished 2nd that year.
Tough break, kid.
And then what happened to the Dontrelle train?
Derailed.
He fell to 12 and 12 the following year, and things started to come apart, as you say, in 2007. Fires, misses inside.
Phil Garner was in 3rd place for Manager of the Year that year in the National League.
Went to the World Series, obviously. Three and 1 the count. It's this Red Sox lineup. You don't want to walk anybody. But there's the walk. Got to move Pedroia to 2nd base, and the cleanup man Travis Shaw comes to the plate. 2005, Roger Clemens, oldest pitcher to lead the league in ERA. Ted Lyons, Nolan Ryan. Yeah, I was wondering about Nolan. That 87 season was the year I think he went like 8 and 18, 8 and 17. I'm not sure what the number was, but led the league in ERA. Warren Spahn, former pitching coach on a team I was on, and Spud Chandler, a former scout on a team I was on.
Spud was not a dud.
No, he was not. He was a gem. Brent Strom is out to the hill. Pretty good list of names.
Spud Chandler like eating French fries?
I think he was in favor of anything potato.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah,
heard that about him.
Joe West goes out and says break it up. I think the gears are spinning for the 2 skips today.
Yeah, and those bullpens out there, that's not a happy place to be in right now with the way the offenses are swinging.
Speaking of bullpens, Tony Sipp starts to get loose in the Astros pen. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Travis Shaw has been quiet with the bat to this point today. 0 for 3. It's just amazing to look at the stats of Roger Clemens and see 7 Cy Young awards.
Got MVP votes in that 2005 year too. Previously in that 2004 won one of those 7 Cy Youngs.
Ground ball hit slowly right side. Altuve can only go to first base where he gets the out. Second out, runners move up, and it brings up Hanley Ramirez. And Jackie Bradley Jr. waiting on deck. Three for 3 today for Hanley. A couple of doubles, a single. He's driven in a run, scored a run.
Play your third baseman in here right now, Ash.
We saw Hanley Ramirez trying to bunt his way aboard with a man on third. I believe that was yesterday. It's hard to recall with the length of these games right now which was which. Taking all the way, watches it inside. Ramirez has hit in 7 straight. And has reached safely in 22 consecutive games. When the Astros leave town today, heading to Chicago, Astros and Red Sox will be done for their season. And now Castro goes to the mound. Guys, you were just out there.
Yeah, that's not going to make Joe West happy.
Joe comes out immediately, and I'm sure his message is, come on, let's go. Scott Feldman now gets loose in the pen along with Tony Sipp, so righty lefty going for the Astros. It feels like there's a continual threat going on both sides throughout this game. Hammered high and deep, but way foul down the left side. You have to watch them. That wind that's been blowing above the stadium is pushing toward right field, and fly balls just continue to move in that direction. There you go.
Better get it. He's the only guy up there.
I knew these seats would pay off. The 2-1. Broken bat hit on the ground. Altuve with the play. And that'll do it in the 6th inning. Red Sox leave a pair scoring position. The Astros continue to lead after 6. Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Throughout the history of the franchise, those are the numbers, Blummer.
Some good outfielders. You could probably field a pretty good team.
You think?
I do.
Even with their present ages, I'll bet you it wouldn't be too bad. So here we go to the 7th inning. We head toward 3 hours, but all worth it if the Astros can pick up a W today and balance this series at 2 games apiece. Heath Hembree still on to work it for the Red Sox as Carlos Gomez shows bunt. Gogo has reached a couple of times today, a walk and hit by a pitch, also stolen a base. He's 0 for 1. Gomez will be followed by Preston Tucker and Jason Castro. Boston Red Sox are now going to heat up an arm in their pen. Bunting toward the mound, and Hembree with the play. He'll get Gomez. First out of the inning. Preston Tucker 0 for 3 on the day, a couple of strikeouts. And he's had some men on base. Came up with runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 5th inning, 2 outs, and struck out. That against Robbie Ross, who was bringing some heat from the left side. Hot shot up the middle, but backhanded and handled by Rutledge, who's all over the field in that shift, the third baseman playing there. So that goes 5-3, and that was a heck of a play to Rob Tucker.
Too bad. Tucker could have used that knock.
Certainly could have. So Preston now 0 for 4. And with 2 down, Jason Castro stands in. First pitch from Hembree misses. 9 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Astros. 8 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors for Boston. Castro 0 for 2. He was robbed by Dustin Pedroia back in the 4th inning, a line drive that appeared headed for right field, but Pedroia went way up the ladder. There's the right-hander loosening. Junichi Tazawa for the Red Sox. Scott Feldman continues to heat for the Astros.
See, Carlos Beltran hit a home run today. His 400th career home run. He is now the 4th switch hitter to hit 400+ home runs. Pretty good company for the ex-Astro.
What a phenomenal talent.
I thought that was a pretty cool note.
Yeah, it is.
Across.
It really is. I don't know how much you were around Carlos. Really good guy.
Yeah, just played against him a bunch. Was never on the same team.
As you mentioned, other stuff going on. The Mets are in Colorado, leading over the Rockies 1-0 in the 2nd inning. Giants at Arizona. They're scoreless in the second. Well, the Angels have been decimated. They're scoreless at Seattle in the bottom of the first inning. And Jason Castro draws a second walk on the afternoon. That'll bring up Jose Altuve. What can you say? He is just something special. Even going 1 for 4, he's had a huge impact on this game. Facing Heath Hembree here in the 7th inning.
This offense kind of resembling what the team did last year, never giving up on offense, just relentless. A lot of it starts with this man right here.
If he continues playing the way he is, he's got to start garnering a lot of attention in terms of the MVP voting. Two and 0 the count.
For those wondering, Lance Berkman has 366 career home runs.
Eddie Murray, the king?
Eddie Murray, no. Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle is still ahead of, yeah, that's right.
Goes,
Eddie Murray got to 500.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
He has 504. Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, Chipper Jones.
Very impressive. Altuve fouls it off. What's that final number for Chipper?
We have to take a gander. It's say 468. Just ahead of Dave Winfield and just behind Carlos Delgado.
Yeah, you start getting up in those figures and you're just talking one great after another.
It truly is. It's great to look at those lists and just see those names.
Altuve with a big swing fouls it back. And I mean, he got a pitch that I think he thought he was going to crush. Two outs here in the 7th inning. Line to right field, but it's going to hang up for Betts, who makes the catch. Altuve hits it too hard as he makes the final out of the 7th inning. The Astros leave a man, but lead by a run. in the middle of the 7th inning in a very intriguing ball game that has the Astros leading over the Red Sox 9-8. And now Scott Feldman will come on to work, third pitcher of the afternoon for the Astros. But you can see the numbers, and it has been steady base runners and just a lot of battling going on, and the Astros trying to make it a 2-game split with the Red Sox, and that would be big while heading to Chicago this afternoon.
So you see Scott Feldman getting loose for his appearance here, making his 6th appearance out of that bullpen. Has 4 starts earlier in the year. Gave up his first run out of relief the other day. Seen some decent velocity out of him since going to that bullpen, which has been a nice surprise. But again, accepting the role and doing well with it.
So Feldman loosens it up. We'll look around at some of the other games going on. The Yankees are hosting the White Sox. The White Sox, who the Astros will meet up with 3 days this week in Chicago. 7-5 Yankees on top, bottom of the 8th inning. The Reds are at Philadelphia in the top of the 8th inning. Reds lead at 7-2. The Detroit Tigers have had a rough go on the start of their season, 15-21. They trail at Baltimore 7th inning, 5-4 Orioles on top. The Marlins are leading at the nation's capital, 5-1 over the Nationals, bottom of the 9th inning. While the Brewers are edging the Padres 3-2 in the 7th inning as well. Royals 1-0 ahead of the Braves 7th inning, and the Pirates also 1-0 in front of the Cubs in the 8th. And there's some of the standings going on. Baltimore Orioles have had a great start to the year. These Red Sox hanging right behind. So we're set for the bottom of the 7th inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. leads it off. Raked a single to center in the 5th inning. 21-game hitting streak for Bradley. Scott Feldman starts him with a strike. Ground ball hit to first. Tyler White with the answer as he feeds Feldman, and 1 out here in the inning.
Every Wednesday night home game is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. The next chance to crush a dollar dog spread is Wednesday the 25th. Visit Astros.com/$dogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS for more information.
You know, that's what the spreads in the clubhouses used to be made up of, was hot dogs or some cold cut sandwiches with nothing to go with them back in the day before you were playing Little League. No, we didn't have all the onions and the relish and everything to go with it. You just ate yourself a
Get you a power dog and go play, huh?
That was about it. Well, that was your post-game spread. That was your big-time meal. And make sure you tip the clubby. See, that looks so much better. Third baseman Josh Rutledge at the plate has doubled, singled, and reached on a fielder's choice. Committed a costly error. That high throw that enabled Carlos Correa to reach with 2 outs. Altuve, after a couple of stolen bases, had found himself at third base and was able to score on the play. One and 2 the count. Line drive into right field. Rutledge just keeps on swinging the bat very well. He was hitting .385 at the start of that AP. A 1-out single brings up left fielder Brock Holt. Pretty nice option for John Farrell.
No kidding. 3 hits on the day.
That was pretty.
Just a cement mixture of a cutter laid up out over the plate. Bolted into right.
Quiet day for Brock Holt. 0 for 3. The Astros have not turned a double play on the afternoon. The two finals in today, Minnesota down in Cleveland 5-1, Oakland a winner at Tampa Bay 7-6. Trevor Bauer, who pitched so well against the Astros last week, taking the loss for the Tribe today against Minnesota. The 1-1.
After the game we saw him pitch in Houston, I thought he was going to be unhittable the rest of the way.
Pat Neshek along with Tony Sipp now loosening in the pen. Trevor Bauer started the year in the bullpen for the Indians, and I guess he was dynamite that night that you were working with Brownie.
He was basically just throwing his fastball changeup. He's got about 9 other pitches.
2-2 the count on Holt. Holt has torn it up in day games on his career, hitting .338, but lowering that number a bit here this afternoon. Right at the knees, got him looking. Scott Feldman gets a big strikeout, and now Holt, has he been run?
He got ejected immediately. Joe West was not happy with his comment.
Joe looks like he's just taken in what Brock Holt has for him. So Holt is done with his day's work.
Not sure what he's complaining about. We'll take a look at it on our strike zone. Joe West pretty adamant about getting Brock Holt out of there in a hurry. That last pitch, 92 miles an hour from Scott Feldman as we take a look back at it. I'm not sure what we're complaining about. That's just nastiness on that low and away corner.
Ideal stuff.
Joe West stepped into that toss.
Yeah, I think there's a point there that umpires can cross. Do your business and move on with it. 2 outs. And again, a big strikeout. Scott Feldman now will face the right-handed bat of Ryan Hanigan, who's 2 for 3. And 3 large RBIs on the day for the backstop of the Red Sox. Or as most catchers have been called many times by some folks, hind catchers.
Really?
Yeah. You've never heard that term.
No. You amaze me with the vernacular.
Those are big words that I keep locked up in this brain of mine.
Hind?
Hind catcher. When you go to Toronto this year, and you'll be there with Brownie.
Oh, man.
Let's find out.
How are you not going to Toronto? Did you get stopped at customs or something
That's
last
the
year?
Minnesota trip.
Oh, okay.
Fly ball hit to right center. Gomez and Springer, and now it's going to drop. And a run will score to tie the game at 9.
Gosh.
And that'll go as an RBI single for Hanigan.
We've talked about it in years past that the center fielder has the ability to call off the outfielder, and Springer looked like he was on the way to get that and then pulled off. I'm not sure what was being hollered out there, but there was a definite miscommunication between those two men. And off the right-handed bat, it will be tailing back towards the right fielder, because either one of them had a play on it for me. Just unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree. I think when it's all said and done, probably easier for George, but when the center fielder's coming on, it's so often his center fielder take charge, and just another situation to iron out. And this has not been fair to the pitching.
That's a base hit and an RBI. And that was another situation where a catcher stretched to double into a single.
Careful with how you assess things. Very true, however.
He had trouble taking his hind all the way another 90 feet. I just can't
That's
believe
nice
that
usage right there.
You like that?
Yeah, that was good. Mookie Betts, the leadoff man at the plate. But it's a crying shame that we're back even at 9 in this game. As if you and I had any part of it. The Red Sox and Astros are even.
That's a lot of runs. Had 18 runs on 20 hits. 3 errors for the Boston Red Sox, 1 error for the Houston Astros.
You know, you can't even blame the sun right now. Cloud cover has that all taken care of. There's been a tricky wind all day long. That's not enough. Still 2 outs, a run in. Fly ball to right, and that's in the gap in right center field. And nobody's getting to this one all the way to the wall. Here comes Hannigan to the bag. He's been waved home. The throw from Correa is not in time. An RBI likely double for the leadoff man Mookie Betts and the Red Sox. With a little help from the Astros in their outfield here in the 7th inning, have taken a 10-9 lead.
It's amazing how quickly things spiral out of control with this Red Sox offense. You give them any kind of opening, they will take advantage of it. And Mookie Betts rocketed that one in that right center field gap. Gave it plenty of time for Hannigan to come around. I think if it was a good enough throw or good enough relay, there might have been a chance to get Hannigan. But again, the disappointment in Feldman is in the ball before that play right there that landed in between Springer and Gomez.
Dustin Pedroia at the plate. And another thing that caught my eye on that play, and I didn't see the lead up to it, but Carlos Correa, who has the strong arm, the guy you want taking that play, actually had the throw on the wrong side of his body coming at him.
But I think that was the throw from Springer that made that happen.
Probably was. And again, I preface it by saying I didn't see the setup to the play. (10-9) Boston. Let's take a look at that play one more time.
Right, this is the previous
the fly
play.
ball.
And you just kind of see George Springer put his head down, look at Carlos Gomez as he peels off that fly ball.
And Gomez likewise had peeled off. And Scott Feldman, we could see earlier, just couldn't believe his eyes.
He thought he got out of the inning.
Yeah, and he should have felt that way.
Yeah, which would have been in great shape because you have the top of the lineups leading off the 8th, but now you got to face him in this inning with runners on.
This Red Sox club is tough, and they don't need any help. Pedroia fouls it to our right. Three and 2 the count. Big Papi hasn't even been a part of this thing.
You know he's ready to be if he has to.
I wonder if he's saying, I can't believe my eyes.
There's some of us saying that. Me being one of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When things get rough, it's time to pick it up. Can't fault the bats at all today. They've really battled. Hit to right. Springer coming on, and I'm not sure he saw that ball initially, but makes the play. Feldman gets out. The inning is not his fault. Red Sox now on top.
And we have a winner in our Chevy Stro poll. We asked you which homer did you like the best that went over the Green Monster. Was it Altuve's 2014 Grand Slam, or Springer's 2 blasts that he had in this series, or Correa's moon blast he had? And Springer wins, the hometown boy. The Grand Slam and the 2-run shot that gave the Astros the win a couple of nights ago. That's the 2-run homer there. There's the grand salami. Springer's been having some fun in this ballpark.
He really has, up until that last inning when he had to play the outfield there, but he has been swinging a very hot bat in front of family and friends. I agree.
Well, the Astros now find themselves down a run. 10-9 here as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Veteran right-hander Junichi Tazawa comes on, 4th pitcher of the day for the Red Sox.
Pitching a lot in this series. Pitching well, too.
Springer, Correa, and Rasmus in the inning. Good breaking ball to start it. Splitting.
Yep.
That Springer swinging over and maybe out in front. 0-2 the count.
How about trying to time this delivery? Hitching the giddy up at Tazawa.
And rather deliberate. The 0-2. And again with a splitter for the strikeout. 3 pitches, 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Tazawa throws that split fingered hard, 88 miles an hour. And there's a situation we talked about Valbuena playing a good third base after getting a couple knocks, but there's a situation I think where George kind of took some of that frustration out in the outfield in that at bat. Considering what we've seen in this series from George, there's been some pretty good at bats, well hit baseballs. That one just a 3-pitch strikeout.
1 out for Correa. Bases empty. Carlos with a home run back in the 3rd inning. And then hustled out a ground ball in the 6th inning that led to a little more offense for the club. And that was a big play. The Astros came out of that 6th inning leading in this one 9-8, but the defense in the 7th inning let Scott Feldman down. And the Astros now have to tune it up with the bats once again. By the way, Chris Young now playing defensively in left field, as Brock Holt had been ejected from the game. Three balls, no strikes. Just a very deliberate pace. 3-0 the count. Green light maybe. It's a 1 out. No, it will not be a 1 out walk. 3-1 the count. You make the call. Appeared to be going the other way on the 3-1 heater, up to 94 miles an hour. So you're right, Tazawa lights it up pretty well.
Good firm fastball, and then Splitty again. He throws that thing hard too.
A couple of big swings out of Luis Valbuena today. Correa down on strikes, and that fastball just slipped right over the bat.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Tazawa.
So 2 outs, bases empty. Colby Rasmus stands in. He's been having a day, or certainly could with a little scoring change back in the 2nd inning. On the official book right now, he has a single and a double. That single, a bunt single. Grounds one to the right side with the shift on. It's the shortstop with the play. Bogart speeds underhand in a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. 10-9 Red Sox. do every middle of the 8th inning. Red Sox lead at 10-9 over the Astros. And for Boston here in the inning, their shortstop Xander Bogaerts leads it off. Had a 2nd inning home run, a 3-run job, and that is instrumental in the scoring for the Red Sox this afternoon. But 2 huge runs in the 7th inning, vaulting the Red Sox over the Astros to this point. Pat Neshek comes on to work it for Houston. Neshek, 4th pitcher of the afternoon, and that line shot off the bat of Bogaerts goes foul down the right side.
You almost just assume those are going to be base hits the way the Red Sox have been swinging it.
It's kind of the way it's been.
My goodness. Neshek pitched yesterday, went an inning, had 2 strikeouts, only threw 15 pitches. You see the numbers on the season. That whip under 1, doing a great job. He got Big Poppy, I believe, yesterday on a really good changeup. His changeup comes in there around 65 to 70 miles an hour.
Back to the mound off the glove of Neshek, and that is going to create an infield single for Bogaerts.
Shouldn't that be an error? It was an error on Colby Rasmus's ball.
Was early in the ball game. You're right.
I agree. The home ballpark, I think they may have given it an error. We got 2 errors on the board for the Houston Astros. We'll keep an eye on that one.
The board on the monster is shifting. Is that going to be an error? Really?
Yep.
They have given an error to Pat Neshek on the play. Agents will soon be on the phone, I'm sure.
Comparing things that agents now petition Major League Baseball to have those overturned.
Yep. That's why
That's interesting to me.
I make that statement. You can bet there will be some calls made. Big swing and a miss by the cleanup man Travis Shaw, who's 0 for 4 on the day. But I think some scorers maybe should position themselves about 50 feet from home plate and have one of those come back at them and take a shot.
I agree.
There's that changeup, popped up. Tyler White will make the catch, and the first out of the inning. So they get Shaw for a 5th time today. Their cleanup man takes a long over, and yet 10 runs on the board. Brings up 5-hitter Hanley Ramirez. For the Astros in the 9th inning, it'll be Tyler White, Luis Valbuena, and Carlos Gomez due up. The Astros bench today: Jake Marisnick, Eric Kratz, and Marwin Gonzalez. Hanley Ramirez has had a day. He's 3 for 4. He scored a run, driven one in, and overall hitting .322. Neshek with that drop down has an 0-2 count.
Cutter?
Yeah, that's small, and usually he'll sweep that slider.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But I'm glad we saw the replay to see the pitch and the swing, because the swing was at that big sweeping slider, but really didn't have that much break.
And down to 84 miles an hour. I was looking for the same thing. The 0-2. And again, 84 miles an hour.
Huh. Getting creative out there.
0-2 the count.
Maybe just a little bit harder version of that slider.
Red Sox are heating up in the bullpen. Strike called inside edge. Hanley Ramirez caught looking. That's 2 outs now. Bogart still aboard at first base, and it brings up Jackie Bradley Jr.
Hanley had more of an argument on that pitch than Brock Holt did. Brock Holt got ejected for it.
Here's one slim difference. Holt was working on an 0 for.
Yep.
Hanley has 3 hits on the day, and that helps too.
A little bit easier pill to swallow.
Yep.
Neshek attacking that corner.
Jackie Bradley Jr. 1 hit today. Extends that hitting streak to 21 games. 1 for 4. Quiet day from some of the guys who might anticipate having big days. But again, you point out double-digit runs for the Red Sox. Hit to right center. Springer will get there and make the catch. Neshek gets through the 9th inning with no damage, but the Astros down a run. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota. Let's go places. A little chilly out there in the harbor today. The bats have not been chilly here at Fenway Park. 19 runs on the board, but the Astros down a run now in the 9th inning. And needing something to even this series.
Playing to win, brought to you by Toyota Tundra. That 6th inning for the Houston Astros where they created runs. Altuve beating out a double play ball and then getting 2 steals out of it. Got him to third base, and on this error by the third baseman Rutledge, and Correa hustling allows Altuve to score that run. And it was Colby Rasmus with the drive to left field over the head of Brock Holt, scoring Correa. Tyler White poked one out there to right field for another RBI. Allowed those Astros to get back in that game, take that lead.
More of the same needed right now. Tyler White has walked a couple of times. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single. And that single drove in a big run in the 6th inning. He's in against the closer now, Craig Kimbrell, as the pop fly comes back to the seats.
There's Craig Kimbrell, 0-1 on the season, 17 games, fastball slider. Goes firm to quite firm.
White, Valbuena, and Gomez again due up here in the inning. Would anticipate that Marwin Gonzalez would be on call right about now. Slider stays in. Ball and a strike on Tyler. The Astros with 9 runs on those 8 hits. So they have made the most of things. Half swing. A strike called by Joe West and a 1-2 count.
He went. Although it did look like Joe West was just calling the pitch anyways. Rightfully so.
1-2 as Kimbrel sets himself. Up to 97.
That's his average velocity on the season.
Standard stuff, huh?
Yep.
.168 career ERA. Slider gets away. You could see Hannigan chasing after. He didn't know if White might be called for a swing there. It's a terrible feeling as a catcher when you know there are 2 strikes and that slider slips by you. Fastball at the knees, got him looking. So out number 1 here in the 9th inning. Our delivery of the game is delivered to you by Jimmy Johns. As we look at some earlier swings by Luis Valbuena. We've talked about Luis having a couple of big ones today. 2nd inning, a 3-run home run, and then just a huge one that came in the 5th inning. A double that plated a pair as the Astros were needing everything they could to get back in this game. So Luis Valbuena has been alive and very healthy with the bat today. 1 out on the strikeout of Tyler White. Pitch is fouled off left side. So Valbuena at the plate. Carlos Gomez is waiting on deck. Slider just under the knees. One ball, 1 strike. A.J. Hinch trying to figure a way to make this thing work. Otherwise, the Red Sox walk away with 3 games in this 4-game set. Jose Altuve has done his part. This has George Springer, but involved in that fly ball dropping in right center field that proved very costly in the 8th. Make that the 7th inning. Shift on for Valbuena, 3-1 count. And a strike called by Joe West.
Good grief, Joe.
Don't know if he was pointing at Valbuena saying a swing.
Yeah, he called that on the swing for whatever reason.
Now that point comes at Valbuena. So on the swing, it fills the count 3-2. The Astros need base runners. Hit to left, but right there is Young to make the catch. That's 2 down here in the 9th inning.
Too bad. That was a pretty good swing by Valbuena.
It was. And with 2 outs, Carlos Gomez comes to the plate. Carlos has reached twice today. A walk and hit by a pitch. 0 for 2 overall. Looking to snap an 0 for 17. Preston Tucker waits on deck. Big swing and a miss by Carlos. Colby Rasmus done a big part. Colby had such a big hit in the 6th inning. Kimbrel with an 0-1.
Gosh, just straight fuel.
He's got that unusual angle to the little bit of a drop down.
It's almost like a Billy Wagner-ish from the right side.
That's exactly what it is.
Drops down, crossfire. And you talk about the consistency of Kimbrel to be able to throw an average 97 miles an hour. And a lot of talk about Aroldis Chapman, too, another quality closer that throws 100+ miles an hour. Billy Wagner, man, he could pump 100-mile-an-hour pitches one after the other pretty darn consistently, too.
As tough as I've ever seen. Gomez has a 2-2 count now. And back on Billy Wagner just quickly. The most consistent, best fastball I've ever been around.
I completely agree. I would go up to at-bats against Billy and be sitting dead red fastball and still get beat. Just exploded out of that left shoulder.
That Astros dugout tells the story. Down to a strike. 3-2. There's Preston Tucker waiting for a chance. Three and 2 to Gomez.
Big opportunity for Carlos Gomez.
Got him. High cheese blown by. A couple of strikeouts for Kimbrel in a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and the Astros go down as the Boston Red Sox win it 10-9, taking 3 out of 4 very costly games here in this series.